Good Friday evening to all of you, and thank you for being here tonight. 9:01 Eastern Standard Time, 4:01 over in Ukraine, 6:01 p.m. in California. A lot of our viewers are, and our moderator, he's based there in California. Jeffrey Burnett, thank you. You've made this a much better community. Welcome to all of you, and thank you for being here. We've got a great update tonight, and I want to jump right into it. Thank you for your support. Thank you for continuing. Day 135, huge day, not only in Ukraine, but around the world. And look who I found.
Hello from Ukraine.
My man getting it done. So, Jacob, we know that you've been on mission, still on mission, in regard to finding supplies, and we're having success in that.
Yes, correct. And God, He opens up new doors because He sees the need.
That's where we start tonight. Humanitarian Run as well. You've been responsible because this is an NGO. You've had to report to the government the things that you've been doing, we've been doing, what has been supplied. So it's not, we're just doing things on our own. This is Ukraine working together. So you've really been loaded on getting all that taken care of. So thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
We did it together. We did it together. All of
right.
that.
We do it together. There's 4 or 5 key things, and we're going to start right here. This has already been happening in Donetsk People's Republic, Lugansk People's Republic, also in Russia. But today it came out with some details, and that is Russian Federation prisoners conscription. Vladimir Putin and the Kremlin came out and said, okay, we want to raise up to 400,000 additional soldiers through our prison system. And they can come serve the rest of our Russian forces, who are criminals anyway, looters and rapists and murderers. So they might as well join. But if you're from prison and you join, if you serve, you will be paid. If you die, your family will be paid. And if you survive the war, you will be given your freedom. This is barbaric.
This is, I mean, it shows us and describes us a real picture of what's going on. I mean, remembering his words and new threats that Russia didn't start even serious yet, and
Correct.
He's
I translated
making
that
soldiers.
And showed it to the people.
He's, recruiting, I mean, soldiers,
Yes.
the prisoners, because he needs at least someone there.
Well, we haven't started anything yet, of course, will be a threat military-wise. But additionally, it's also a threat that, okay, you haven't seen any of our bad guys yet. We're getting ready to turn loose the prisoners on you. It's ridiculous. And the world sleeps on it. Unacceptable. Now, I want to move to a major topic tonight. I've been covering this one for 4 or 5 days, telling everyone that the increase of the attacks on Kharkiv is getting serious. So next topic, Kharkiv and constant bombardment. I do know this, and I'm going to then turn you loose, but on Kharkiv, Russia is moving in their 144th motorized brigade division, and that is between 12 and 24,000 soldiers, equipment, and infrastructure. It seems that they're really focusing not only on some of the other cities we'll talk about, such as Slavyansk and Kramatorsk, but as well Kharkiv, because down south, Kherson, Mykolaiv, Ukraine's making a good push. Zaporozhye, we're doing good. But this east and now northeast with Kharkiv looking tight. What do you know about Kharkiv?
So it's a constant shelling every day, different ways, and it's missiles, it's artillery, in a different way. All the way they can, they attack Kharkiv. Civilian people dying regularly, houses, buildings being destroyed every day, and I believe this is not their real goal at this moment, and they're just creating pressure there to take as much as possible Ukrainian army attention on that area. But
Two,
we stay, let's say,
2 days ago, university destroyed. Yesterday, medical facility destroyed. It's I know that they're using munitions that are Soviet, and they're using rockets and missiles that are Soviet, and they're from the 1960s and 1970s, but it's no excuse. They're indiscriminately destroying everything, and they don't care what it is as long as it's destroyed or dead. That's what's happening.
correct. And all the military specialists, analytics, they stated and confirmed that it's not by mistakes. It's not just, I mean, wrong targets.
I
It's
agree.
there.
That's what I want to say.
It,
Tell it.
this is a real attitude. This is a real goal. Doesn't matter how they did call it in the beginning. Their real goal is to kill the nation, to destroy the nation at all. I mean,
Well,
completely. Uh, and this is their attitude. This is their character. This is their politic ethic and real attitude to the world, to the principles, all of that. So this is Russia.
we're witnessing it. And you're right. The world can say, well, they can't control the aim on them as well as the higher, more modern stuff. Baloney. They don't care.
Yes.
In World War II, planes were flying around with guys looking out of bombing windows, and they were hitting their targets in World War II. So I don't want to hear about it in 2022. Well, it's 1970s technology, 1980s technology. Baloney. You don't care what you hit. That's the
It
bottom
is. Yes, correct. And you have to remember all the way. Doesn't matter which news this they like describe or comment, let's say. The same time Russia stealing grain which belonged to Ukraine and selling it to other countries, trying to sell it worldwide.
line. In
So
Turkey,
what kind of special operation? It's I mean,
here's the deal.
what it is.
Well, of course, Turkey, we can't figure out what they're doing. But here's the deal. We're either going to steal your grain or we're going to burn your fields down. That's what's happening. So,
Right? Yes.
and listen,
Same time.
I know that some of the fields being burned down, we're talking about hectares and hectares and hectares. Yes, Shell catches grain on fire or munitions do it, but there's other places they're indiscriminately as well terrorizing. Either we're going to have the grain or nobody's going to have the grain. Either we're going to destroy or we will destroy even more. There's no middle ground. There's no options for what they're doing. It's terrorism. It's evil. And Putin yesterday accusing Ukraine of committing the genocide. I told the people last night that had everything translated. They even showed Solovyov calling for Trump to come back and all of this stuff. But once I showed the Putin speech to his parliament members, it shows the world Putin is the greatest propagandist. He was the one spewing the propaganda. You haven't seen anything yet. You may try. All these words. And of course, the world sees it. Now, with that said, Jacob, let's jump to our next region we've been covering: Slavyansk, Kramatorsk, Siversk, where you just were, and Bakhmut. This, of course, is in the east, in the Donetsk Oblast. It's nonstop as well. Devastation.
Yes, it's a devastation. It's a really hard, tough battles going there, and Russia making attempts in some areas they got some success, but still, all of these parts, let's say it's Ukrainian, and we fight for every square meter,
Yes, sir.
and
And
we wait for more weapon will come.
bottom line, we need weapons. You know, it's kind of interesting today in regard to that, and this is not one of our topics, but the former NATO general, an American, said, okay, Ukraine, you guys need to blow up the bridge between Crimea and Russia
Mm-hmm.
in the Kerch Strait there. So great, we agree. Ukraine's all rejoicing. Okay, let's go. What we gonna blow it up with?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so the
So
world wants Ukraine, the American general telling Ukraine to blow up the bridge. NATO, okay, we need to blow up that bridge. With what?
no bad idea.
It's a
Okay.
great idea.
Uh,
We're gonna send a
so
scuba diver and bomb it like Hogan's Heroes. I don't know, but thank you for the idea. Thank you for the
yeah,
permission. Thank you for the thoughts. Now, how about the weapons?
yeah, we can send SpongeBob,
I
whoever.
don't know what they're talking about. I mean,
Okay, so we wait for four more units
HIMARS.
of
Yeah.
HIMARS, and maybe with that HIMARS, somebody will find the missiles for HIMARS, which
Yes.
with a distance
300
of from
kilometers.
300 up to 500.
Yes. Then we can get
Yes,
it.
then it will be. Then please, I mean, just mix boxes.
Please mix
Somebody
the
do
boxes.
mistake.
Give us some
Yes,
long range ones too. But
yes.
hey,
The-
maybe it'll happen. Of course, the world's afraid of it because we're worried about what Putler's going to do. But at least we're now hearing from some guys, hey, blow that bridge up. Okay. Then help us
and
blow it
yeah,
up.
yeah. Russia
G20.
doing. Yeah,
G20.
G20 and Lavrov.
Lavrov, the foreign minister of Russia. So the G20 is an organization of 19 nations plus the European Union. Their focus is to develop and bolster global economic activity. They met
Hmm.
today, and Lavrov showed up and basically turned that entire meeting into absolute chaos. You were telling me a few minutes ago, no smiles, no dinner, no pictures, nobody's talking.
No,
Just,
probably first minute he got a smile, but then until somebody did ask when you will stop the war, then the smiles disappeared,
they
and
disappeared.
then it started that
And
show.
I'm kind of, maybe we need to be foreign ministers because Blinken was there, okay, from America, and Lavrov is there. They were in the same room. They never made one statement to each other. They ignored each other. Okay, listen, if I was there, and I'm not a foreign minister, but if I was there and I was the American foreign guy there, I would have went over and said, Mr. Lavrov, let's have a talk. I wouldn't have ignored him. So I don't really appreciate that, whether it be America or any other nation. You had a chance to look at that man in the eye, not on a call, and say, you need to stop it. You need to back down. You need to leave, or we're coming. Anything. But of course, the world just allows Russia to continue to sow the chaos. Now, with that chaos said, I want to pay tribute tonight. Unfortunately, today, former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, who was a friend to Ukraine, friend to America,
Hmm.
he was a good man. He was assassinated, 2022,
Hmm.
assassinated, and so we pay tribute to him tonight. It's just a further sign of global destabilization, and that brings me to the place where, Zhenya, I'm more ready to call this biblical activity every day because there's just too much coming in with the world that is showing us, which we know. Ultimately, in our foundation, we're ministers of the gospel, and we know that there's biblical things going on. It's obvious to see. So much love to the
it's all together. I mean,
it's all together. Everything
wars,
is connected.
Hunger. I mean,
Yes.
wars. Then new diseases,
Weather.
weather, craziness in a political international field. I mean, it's just madness everywhere.
It is. That's why we're here every night. Lithuania blockade. Kremlin, for the second time, has threatened Lithuania. They had another meeting last night, and some of the inside people that try to get information out are saying very clearly, do not be surprised if Russia does not begin a special operation in Lithuania. I know the world looks at that and says it'll never happen. That's the same world that said February 24th, when missiles were flying, would never happen. So
yes,
we need to pay attention to Lithuania, and we will. Last thing, and I want to leave this one on you tonight. Severodonetsk. We've covered it for weeks and weeks. Prior to that, it was Mariupol. Over the last 6 weeks, you can go back and look at our broadcast, and we have said many times, Severodonetsk is going to turn into Mariupol 2. Today, Ukrainian government came out and said, Severodonetsk, Mariupol 2. Heat, meaning temperature, no infrastructure, little food, no water, no sewage, dead bodies everywhere.
No medicine.
No medicine. Here comes Mariupol 2. So the last thing tonight, give me a minute there on Severodonetsk and the humanitarian condition.
It was expected, and this is why volunteers are trying usually to do as much as possible, even to prepare something, because it's already, we know the enemy, and we know what kind of freedom they bring to people. It is not about people, it is not about land, it is just, I mean, their desire to kill and to destroy, I mean, the people in Ukraine. So at this moment, only world. Why? Where is the Red Cross? Okay. Why the Turkish? I mean, okay, medics are not there. Why there is no international I mean, attention to that? I mean, there is, but
do you want to know why? I'll answer.
Okay.
They'll be killed.
Yes.
They'll be killed.
Then why there is no, I mean, new level of trying to stop it? Why we don't read about the huge, I mean, strong attempts of a Red Cross, for example?
Yes.
To stop it. Why we don't read it? Why we don't read other, you know, like why we read regularly about small countries who fighting against a monster of Russia? Yes, we read it. What about
Jacob,
the world most popular organizations?
Mariupol, big city. Severodonetsk, large city. And big meaning way bigger than large.
I understand.
Kharkiv, massive city. If what happened in Mariupol moves to Severodonetsk, which it is, and then ends up in Kharkiv, bud, devastation. Well, folks, there you have it. You are fully updated on this Friday night, Saturday morning in Ukraine. Jacob, it was nice to find you.
Oh, it was nice to be with you again.
No, you say it was nice to be found.
Okay, it was nice to be found. Now it's correct.
Yeah, now it's correct. All right, guys, we love you. You guys be blessed. And in 23 hours, next update, there's your heart from Ukraine. Good night. Peace to you.